Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Vibing After Dark _ with Mo. And if you're new to my channel, how about hit that subscribe button? If you're a returning subscriber, how about sending it to a family or a friend so they can vibe out with us? And please, 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 please make sure you like this video. That helps out a lot, and thanks in advance. Okay, y'all, so y'all remember the story where Rita Tisa telling her story about her husband. Now we have another woman coming out and explaining her part of the story about the husband she was dealing with. Now, she named hers The Lies He Told, and it goes from part 1 to part 21, but this is part 1 through part 5. Now, later on, I will be posting the rest of the parts, but I gotta go to work. So, I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the video.
So this series will be entitled The Lies He Told. Don't it sound like a Lifetime movie? Yeah. So buckle your seatbelt, because this is going to be a ride. All right. On January 5th, 2020, I contacted a restaurant called Phil and Derek's here in Houston. My best friend at the time, remember, I'm not saying anybody's government or real name or nickname or what have you. My best friend Naya was in town for her birthday. Her birthday is January 5th. And we wanted to do brunch. We wanted to do Sunday Fun Day. We had an agenda that day, but we did not have any reservations at all. So I took it upon myself that morning to contact Phil and Derek's. And when I called, a gentleman answered the phone. "Thanks for calling Phil and Derek's. This is Jared. How can I help you?" I said, "Hi, Jared. My name is Jillian. I'm trying to call to see if I can make a reservation today for a party of 5. Jared says, "Oh, that's impossible, Miss Jillian. We don't have any reservations, like same day reservations. I mean, it's really busy on a Sunday." I said, "Man, come on. It's my best friend's birthday. She's just in town until, the morning, or it was like Tuesday or something." And I said, "Please, you sure you can't squeeze us in anywhere?" He put me on a brief hold. He came back to the phone and he said, "I got you." I said, "Bet, my dog. I appreciate that." And he said, "Hey, but when you come, bring me a Powerade." I said, "A Powerade?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "What color you want?" He said, "Blue." I said, "Bet." All right. So I round up all the girls. It's 5 of us. Hop in the truck. We drive to Phil and Derek's. We get there, I think, around 1 o'clock. I think the reservation was for 1. We go in. Actually, we didn't go in. I hopped out at the valet. I think I was the last one to get out of the truck, but I had the blue Powerade in my hand. And I saw this man walk outside, and he was dressed as if he was a part of the staff at Phil and Derek's. And so I walk up to him and I said, "Are you Jared?" And he says, "Yeah." He said, "Do we know each other?" I said, "Here, your Powerade." And he was like, oh, you bought it." I said, "Yeah, I did." I said, "I wasn't gonna forget about you." So we broke contact. I go in, we get seated at the section, we eat, we laugh, we talk, we drink. A guy, fine ass man, walked up to me that was sitting at the bar. He was telling me his life story. "Hey, baby, I work in the oil and gas field. I got that bread, I got this, I got that." And I'm intrigued. I'm like, "Oh, okay, boo, take me out, do something with me." So Jared walks up and Jared says, "Hey man, she already married." I look at my homegirls. I said, "I'm married." I don't see no. I said, "Sir, I don't even know that man." I'm capping at this point, because of course I just brought you a Powerade. But we was in there for a couple of hours, and so he had spotted me from the side of the room talking to a whole nother man. So he comes over and he tells him that. So we leave Phil and Derek's. We go to the address. We party. I'm in there, bottles. Just us doing what we doing, celebrating a beautiful woman and making it another year. So my best friend leaves that Tuesday, and I eventually start to have a beeper. I go to the CVS Minute Clinic. I go in and I'm like, "Hey, I'm sick as a dog. I don't know what's going on. Y'all, what's going on?" They check me. They say, "Well, you don't have influenza A or B. You don't have, pneumonia." They were just telling me I didn't have any of the normal stuff. But in 2020, nobody knew what the fuck COVID was. I had COVID, because guess what? Naya had came in from Dubai. Most people that were catching COVID at the very beginning, they was catching it from people that was coming from out the country. So case in point, I was sick as a dog. I want to make it clear that I did not have Jared's number or any way to contact him after I left Phil and Derek's that day. We didn't exchange numbers, any of that shit. I'm gonna just put that out there. So of course, it's gonna be parts of the story that's gonna make me really look dumb. I ain't gonna lie. I done told y'all this before. This is a disclaimer. So I'm sick as a dog for a good 2 weeks. All right. One day it fell on my heart to call Phil and Derek's again. So I called up there and I said, "Hey, y'all got a manager there by the name of Jared?" And they say, "Yeah." I said, "He there?" They said, "No, he not here." They said, is there a message that I can leave for him?" I said, "Well, to be honest with you, I really want to leave a good review because he took care of us. He made sure that we had what we needed, yada, yada, yada. And so they said, okay, let me write your name and your number down, and I'm going to have one of the owners to call you back. So one of the owners did contact me back, like within the day. And just for this story, you know, her name is Maria. Maria contacts me and she says, hey, you know, I got your number and your name, and they told me that you want to make a review on one of our managers. And I said, yes, Jared was amazing. You know, I appreciate his customer service. We from Mississippi, so we know about being hospitable, and we just wanted to thank you and to thank him for just a lovely evening, a lovely, you know, brunch or what have you. And she said, okay, I'm gonna definitely pass the message along. Thank you so much. We ended the call. I called back up there again, because at that point I was trying to figure out in my mind why that man had told that man that I was married. Where he get that shit from? He knows something I don't know. So I called back up there. I said, hey, may I please speak to Jared? And the man said, hold on one second. Jared picked up the phone. Hello, this is Jared. I said, Jared, I don't know if you remember me, but this is Jillian, the one that brought you that Powerade 2 weeks ago. He said, yeah, man, what's up? I said, how you doing? He said, man, I'm good. We just busy, man. I said, that's cool. I'm not gonna hold you too long. I said, but I have a question for you. I said, I don't know if you remember this, but that Sunday that I came in there, a young man was speaking to me, and you walked up and you told that man that I was married. I said, now, why would you do some shit like that? I said, I was really trying to get that man number. And that's me. I'm ignorant like this. So I asked the question. I said, why would you say something like that to him? He said, well, dudes come in here all the time, and they be, you know, on women, and women really don't be interested. So, you know, I felt, you know, I could come over there and kind of relieve you a little bit, because I ain't really think you was feeling it, nigga. I said, oh, okay. He said, but I gotta get back to what I'm doing. Is there any way that I can get your number, or I can give you my number, and then, you know, we can talk offline? I don't really want to be on these folks' phone. I said, oh, that's cool. He gave me his number. And so we started chit-chatting. We started talking. Maybe about a week later, that's when everything started to shut down here in Houston because of COVID. Now, part 2 is where it really gets going. Part 2 of the lies he told. So we exchanged phone numbers, and we immediately start texting. About a week later, that's when we find out that the city is on shutdown because of COVID. So our very first date, red flag number 1, because it's gonna be several, just so you know, it's going to be several. First red flag, hey, you know, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna be at work all day. Is it okay if I pull up on you? You know, we can do dinner at your house. You don't have to cook. You know, we can order a piece of some light, you know, something like that. And I said, okay, cool. My son, the only son that I had at the time, which for this series, his name is Walker. Walker was with his dad that day, so I had the house to myself. It had to be a Wednesday or Thursday. So I ordered the pizza, and he showed up. And so we sat, we talked, and we began to start having engaging conversations about who we were to one another, such as, hi, I'm Jill, I'm from Mississippi, I have 1 kid, yada, yada, yada. All right. When you initially have a conversation with someone, you don't expect them to give you any information that's not true, right? So this is how our conversation went. Jared tells me that he was originally from Louisiana. He was born and raised in Louisiana. His grandmother, you know, raised him. He had a daughter. He had been married before, and his ex-wife cheated on him. Ex-wife cheated on him. And she actually lives in Germany on a teaching job. He told me that he had a house with his ex-wife in Humble, Texas. He told me during this conversation, this is our very first initial conversation over pizza. He told me that his mother was a physician. He told me that his mother had him at such a young age that, of course, his grandmother had to raise him. Of course, it's believable. Of course. He told me that he went to culinary art school at the Arts Institute. He stated that he had 3 vehicles, that his credit score was amazingly high. And he also told me that his lease was about to be up at his apartment, and he was getting ready to move out. And one last thing that he told me is that he used to play football. Not arena football, but he used to play football in high school. Okay. Also, in addition to going to the Arts Institute for Culinary Arts, he also said that he graduated from U of H, which is University of Houston, with a degree in hotel management, I believe he said, hotel management. By him being in the restaurant business, I definitely believe that. Okay. As the time goes on, as the parts come, as they start to move, I'll be exposing most of it. And if I remember other things, I'll make sure to let you know. So, like I said before, this was our initial conversation with one another. I told him, I said, wow, that is impressive. That's a lot. He also told me that he had, money in his savings and stuff. He's a great saver. He knows he's financially stable, things of that nature. Okay. I said, okay, cool. No problem. That's awesome. I said, so the 3 cars, where are the 3 cars at? I mean, I've only seen you in the Camaro. And he was like, yeah, I keep those other 2 at my mom's crib because, I live in an apartment complex. So, I don't want to have all my cars over there. Okay, man, that's understandable. I got you. I said 3 cars. That's crazy. All right. So the night goes on. I'm not going to sit here and cap one night. If you follow me, you follow me. That was a one night. And that man never left my house. He went to work. He would come back the next day. He went to work. He would come back the next day. So during the time when I met him, he was driving a Camaro. One night, he picked me up from Prospect Park. I got an Uber there. He got off of work at Phil and Derek's, and then he came and scooped me up. I noticed on that night that he had a pink tag on his Camaro, and there was a name on the back, and the name said Cece. So that was weird to me because his name was Jared. So we go home, and I didn't bring it up or anything. So as time goes by, we're basically shacking. But let me be clear. The first week that he started living with me, he was paying my bills. He paid my rent. He was buying groceries. He was doing for my son at the time. He was most definitely paying my household bills. And I was pocketing all my money. Most definitely was. So one day he comes home and now he's in a Nissan Altima. And I said, what happened to the Camaro? He said, I'm letting it sit for a minute. I need to get some tires on it or what have you. I keep spinning out trying to come home. So, I'm gonna just let it sit. So now, I'm gonna drive the Nissan. I said, okay, cool. I remember you saying you had a couple cars. I said, so what a Camaro at? He said, oh, I got to sit over in my mom's crib. I said, okay, cool. He said, so I really would like for you to meet my daughter. Now, he told me on one of our initial conversations that he goes and he sits at the grandmother's stop sign to get his daughter from school every day because her mother cannot do so. I said, wow, you pick up your kid every day? Like from the bus? He said, yeah, she's out there in Humble. So I drive out there to Humble, make sure she gets off the bus fine and everything. And then sometimes, I go and take her to get something to eat and then I just run her back to her mom's. But she's going to school in her grandmother's district. It never dawned on me to ask him why the grandmama can't get her off the bus. Never dawned on me. So I said, okay, cool. And so I noticed that he worked extremely long hours. And when I mean extremely long hours, I mean he would sometimes leave at 6 in the morning and he wouldn't be back till like 2 in the morning the next morning. When Phil and Derek's, they stay open until about 2, but he would say, no, we got inventory, babe. We doing this, we doing that. So of course, when you're in a restaurant business, I know, they have long hours. I do know that. So I ain't knock him. I ain't asked too many questions at the beginning because I was like, surely he working. He paying these bills, he working. I ain't worried about it. That's why I fucked up. I didn't ask shit. And I'm going to tell you now, when I get to part 3, you'll start to see the lies he told. Part 3, the lies he told. So one day I said, babe, since you're going to pick your daughter up, how about you bring her back to the house and we go get something to eat? I got Walker. Let's just go and get something to eat. He said, okay, let me hit her mom up. Let me make sure that's cool. I'm gonna let you know something. So he calls me back about an hour later. He was like, babe, I'm bringing Cece. Cool. So he brings Cece to my townhouse at the time. And I say, all right, let's go to Toro, hibachi spot around the corner, because my baby love hibachi, right? So Walker is excited to see this baby. However, Cece is very quiet. She's very weird. And I hate to say this about a 7-year-old baby, but I know children, and I know when children are fearful. And this baby was scared. So I said, babe, does she talk? Like, is she okay? And he was like, yeah, babe, she just quiet. She quiet like a daddy. I said, okay. I said, that makes sense. So I said, baby, get whatever you want. I'm gonna pay for it. Get whatever you want. Now, at this point in time, I did not know what I know now. So I'm embracing this baby because I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna be with this man, if we, having talks, because at this point we was having talks about a family. I said, I love kids. I'm accepting of her. Hell, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out what size this baby wear in clothes. That's just the woman I am. So we all eating. I noticed that she not eating. I said, what's wrong with her? And why did she get steamed rice? And all of us got fried rice. He was like, she don't like fried rice. She don't like fried rice. She don't like a lot of stuff. I said, okay, so she picky. That's cool. We go and we take her to an apartment over by the mall. I never forget it. And we drop her off. The next morning, that nigga wake up in a rage. I'm in the bathroom. I didn't know what was going on. So I come out and I say, babe, what's wrong? You good? I'm thinking there's something going on at the job. He in a hurry. He putting on clothes. I said, babe, what's wrong? He said, man, her mama come texting me talking about, I lied to her talking about it was just gonna be me and her going out to eat last night, and Cece went home and told her mama that I was out to eat with you and your son, and that's the whole thing, and now she won't even let me see my daughter no fucking more. Man, I'm so tired of this shit. He throwing shit, and I said, man, wait a minute, hold on. I said, now woman, I can holler at her for it. Like for you. I can, talk to her because maybe she is disrespected. She ain't met me yet. Don't write nobody around my motherfucking baby if I don't know you, And so he said, no, baby, that's bullshit. That bullshit. He going in. I said, okay. I said, I'm gonna let you handle it. I said, but you got rights to your baby, right? Like, you able to see your baby because you told me you was on child support. Yeah, man, I'm on child support. I said, okay. Matter of fact, every time I look like that, just know it's something behind it when I look like that. I said, okay, well, child support order, you get visitation rights. She can't deny you your baby, man. I said, and, I understand that you still trying to get this baby your last name or whatever because of how the situation went down. Let me explain to you how he told me the situation went down of him finding out that Cece was his baby. He used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings for 12 years. That man said that a woman started working at Buffalo Wild Wings and she and him had a thing. She ended up getting pregnant, but he didn't know that she got pregnant because she left Buffalo Wild Wings before she got pregnant. Obviously, they had a one night stand. And he said 4 years later, she walks into Buffalo Wild Wings with his daughter and said, meet your daughter. This is your daughter. He claimed that they went and got swabbed, got a DNA test, and it was his baby. He said he is still working to get the baby last name his last name. But right now, she got her mama last name. Okay, cool. Now, before I met this baby, I said, let me see a picture of it. He showed me a picture of it. I said, oh my God, she mixed. Damn. I said, okay, what she mixed with? He said, she mixed with Mexican. I said, okay. I said, show me a picture of her mama. He showed me a picture of the mother. But it's always a naiveness to their madness because when he showed me her page, it was her Facebook page. And I always remember names. I'm going to remember names, numbers, street numbers, all this shit. I'm going to remember all of that. So I remembered her name. So by this time, I said, okay, well, let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you. Let me know. Another thing about Jared is he never wanted me to meet his family. He would always say, my mama work all the time. She ain't never, ever, available. And if she is, she in third world partying with her little hood friends. He would say shit like that. Then he said his daddy wasn't in his life. So, because he was in and out of prison all the time. And his grandmama raised him. So, he didn't really know who his daddy was. I said, okay. Out of the blue one day, he got in contact with his daddy. And he said, babe, you want to meet my dad? Absolutely. Absolutely, I want to meet your father. We went to go meet his daddy. I took pictures with his daddy. Matter of fact, I had the same dress on when I met his daddy. Sure did. By this time, mind you, this was maybe 3 or 4 weeks after I had met his daughter. I said, hey, we got something to tell you. He needed to see his daddy because he wanted to tell his daddy that he had a baby on the way. Whole time that we was there, I ain't never said shit about the daughter that I had met. Never said nothing because we was too excited about our new baby that we were about to have. He said, man, you gonna go put a ring on it and everything. And he's like, hell yeah, this my wife now, shit. Okay. So his dad started calling and checking up on his new daughter-in-law. He called me one day. He said, hey, baby, how you doing? I said, Pop, I'm good. I said, everything going well. We got a doctor's appointment set up after we leave Mississippi because at this point, I'm going to take homeboy to go see my folks in Mississippi because at this point, you got to meet Mr. Daddy. You got to meet my daddy, okay? And he was like, okay. I said, and speaking of, I forgot to tell you when I saw you that I had met your other beautiful granddaughter. He said, Chucky daughter? I said, Chucky? He said, yeah, my daughter Chucky. I said, no, not Jared's sister. I said, Jared baby. He said, Jared baby. I said, yeah, Jared daughter, CC, man, stop playing. He said, Jared ain't got no motherfucking kids. I said, man, Jared has a 7-year-old daughter. Maybe you confused because, you've been in and out and stuff. And he said, I ain't been in and out that damn long. And to be honest with you, he said, I'm gonna just tell you this. My nephew told me when I was locked up that Jared is a stone cold liar. He said, so I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't no way in the world Jared would have had a baby without telling his mama or me. Ain't no way he would have done it. He said, have you talked to his mama? I said, I ain't never met his mom. He said, exactly. Now, I got to go to church, but part 4 will be coming tonight. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, thank y'all so much for allowing me to go to church. Jesus. All right. I'm gonna dial this thing back. You guys have a lot of valid questions, and I know that I left a lot of things out, but I did not do it intentionally because I'm sitting around here trying to give y'all a low-level overview of my story when I really supposed to be giving y'all every specific detail, and I apologize for that. So let's get back to it. At the very beginning, I told you guys that the brunch occurred on January 5th of 2020. After the brunch, I got extremely sick. My best friend left that Tuesday. By that Wednesday or by that Tuesday night, I was already running a fever. Went to the Minute Clinic. They told me, hey, it ain't the flu, none of that stuff or whatever. Nobody at this time knew about COVID, okay? I'm almost deathly ill on the couch for a good 2 weeks. My kid wasn't here with me or anything, so I was basically trying to fend for myself. I started feeling a little bit better closer to maybe the end of January. I remember where I was. I remember making the phone call to Phil and Derek's and asking for him and to say, hey, I want to put in a good review on him. Then I remember getting the call back from the owner or the co-owner. And she told me, hey, we appreciate that. Boom, boom, boom. I called back shortly after. This was not in the same day, guys, but I called back shortly after. And I got his number. I'm not going to say that it was the same night, but it was shortly after. He said, hey, I'm working like crazy. Let me come to your house. We're going to order pizza. We're going to talk it out. And that's what happened. Every day after that night, he did not leave my townhome, meaning that he would go to work and he would come back. Okay. That one-nighter did produce a little beautiful 3-year-old. It did. Okay. I just want to make that clear. I'm really not too concerned about the dates right now or the months or whatever, because I'm trying to make sure that I give you guys this high level overview so there won't be any discrepancies in the story, because I am telling 100% truth on this shit. Can't even sit here and make this up. When I met the daughter in February. We went out for hibachi because someone commented and said, well, the shutdown didn't happen until March, sis. Cool. I appreciate that. Because see, the shutdown for me happened when I didn't go back to work after I got sick. Okay. So the Houston shutdown probably happened in March. But at some point when people started getting sick early or mid-February or early or late March, or late February, Phil and Derek's was doing like small capacity. Like you couldn't go in there and do brunch on a Sunday like we normally do. And the DJ in there, that shit wasn't happening. So like I said, again, I will probably be off about the dates. I apologize about that. We took the daughter to eat. And then shortly after I met his daughter, I met his dad. Okay. I met the dad in February. All right. When I met the dad, I knew when I met him that I was pregnant. When I met the daughter, I did not know that I was pregnant. Okay. So with that being said, I want to start part 4, but I also want to clarify something else that I did not tell you guys. I met his dad in the latter part of February, but on February 28th, he proposed to me on the side of the bed. There was no, exotic engagement or whatever, like, hey, will you marry me? You're about to have my child. I want this for life with you. This is for lifers. All that shit. Yes. Okay. I said yes. I remember going to the nail shop that day. Facebook blowing up. Instagram blowing up. Yeah, she getting married. Yada, yada, yada. I remember all of that. Okay. So now we're going to enter into how the rest of the conversation went with dad. But we're also going to tap into another thing, because now I am going to talk to you about the ex-wife and the story about that. Okay, guys. Part 4 of the lies that he told. So I quickly get off the phone with his daddy, and I remembered that I saw the girl's Facebook page, the alleged baby mama. So I go to her Facebook page and I start stalking. I did find a picture of Cece on her page, and there was a comment that was on that girl's picture, and it was from an older African-American woman. That lady commented and said, look at Granny's baby. The woman had Cece's last name, and the mom had Cece's last name. So at that time, I knew, ain't no way this could be this boy's biological baby. I waited for him to come home, and I said, Jared, I have a question for you, and please believe me that if I ask you a question, I already know the answer to it, so please don't lie to me. I said, is Cece your biological kid? That boy looked at me and he said, yeah, that's my baby. I already told you about, the Buffalo Wild Wings. I said, I hear you. I said, but let me tell you what I found out today. Today, I contacted your father and we had a conversation. And that conversation went a little bit about him asking how I was doing. And also I told him that I had met Cece and he had no idea who Cece was. He told me that you don't have any children, Jared. So are you going to be honest, or I need you to tell me what's going on. That man looked at me and he said, that ain't my baby. He said, but I was with her mom for some time and I was about to get ready to try and help raise her because her dad is in jail. Her mom is still legally married to the father of that child. And I got so close to her and her baby that I told her that I would take responsibility as a man to help her raise her baby. And I looked at that man and I said, so you mean to tell me that you went and picked up another man's baby and claimed that child as your own and brought it to this situation? And why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, because, I said, but you also told me that she was on child support. So that was a lie too? Like, you're not on child support? I give her, I pay half of her rent. I said, you pay half of her rent? You pay half of this woman's rent, Jared. Yeah, I'm doing the best that I can to try to help her. Y'all, all of that was a lie. That man was not paying nobody's half rent. He was not doing that. So that was the very first lie that I found out quickly. But as this series progresses, you will find out how many lies this man has told me. And they don't stop there. Part 5 coming up. Part 5 of the lies he told. So time progresses. We ended up going to Mississippi. He definitely meets my family. We go to Piccadilly. He tells my parents at Piccadilly, like, oh yeah, I used to be a very big dude, and I'm not gonna lie, that man was heavy, over 350 pounds easy. Now he's about 186 in current time, 186 pounds. So he was telling them about how he got weight loss surgery done, how he's been able to maintain it, because believe it or not, the boy could not eat a full Lunchable. So I knew he had some type of gastric sleeve or something like that. He told them the same things that he told me on the very first night, how he was raised in Louisiana, how, his grandmother, helped raise him, and that was his mom, until he found out that, later on down the line, that his real mama was his alleged sister, which she was there his entire life, from my understanding. And he just went down the line and he was telling them everything that he had told me. On the way back from Mississippi, we came the Beltway, so we passed through the Atascocita-Humble area. He said, babe, you want me to take you over there to where me and my ex-wife used to live? I said, you talking about like your old house? He was like, yeah, because I know at some point we probably gonna be looking for houses, so I kind of want to show you the house that we stayed in, because I want a much bigger house this time. I said, okay, that's cool. We drive into a subdivision, and we landed on a random street. Now, after the whole baby situation with Cece, I left a part out about Cece, but I'll get back to that. We go down a random street, and he points out to a house, and he said, babe, that's the house that we used to have. Now, I want to tell you guys the story about the ex-wife and the situation with him. He told me, remember in one of those parts, I told you that he said that the wife cheated on him when they were married. So the storyline about the ex-wife is that he was working out of town because he was training for different Buffalo Wild Wing restaurants that were up and coming in different local cities like Austin, San Antonio, Dallas. He's doing that. He claims that the man next door was sleeping around with his ex-wife, and he came home one day, unexpected. His wife was home from work. She was not expecting him to be home. He told me that that man next door was sitting on his couch, on Jared's couch, holding his remote, watching his TV, butt ass naked. This man told me that they got into a tussle. The next door neighbor tried running out of the front door, and he ends up shooting him in the leg. I asked Jared, did he go to jail for that? And he told the officers that it was self-defense, and they let him off. He did not do any jail time because of that, because the man was technically in his home. I believed that story. I did, guys. I believed it, and I know it makes me look like a fucking fool, but I did. I believed it. I really believed that that woman cheated on him, and he shot that next door neighbor in the leg. I really did. We pull off that street, and we head home. Before we could make it home, I was on my phone on Harris County Appraisal District. I was smart enough this time. I'm dumb about a lot of shit that's gonna occur on this series, but I was smart enough to get the house number, the name of the street, subdivision, all of that. I punched it into HCAD, property search. The same owners have been owning that house since 2011, since that lot was sold, since the bricks was put on that motherfucker. It was already there. Nobody, no other couple had that house. I did a little bit more deeper research. I took the owner's name and I plugged it in Facebook. I got to the point where I searched so hard and so long that not only did I find the owners of that house on Facebook, I found the picture of when they posted on Facebook that the lot was sold, and they were standing there where there was foundation still on that motherfucking lot. The house ain't even been built. They were a newlywed Caucasian couple. And that was not a picture of Jared and his ex-wife. We made it home. I got out that car. I came upstairs. I got in that bed and I put my head to the back of that headboard. And he said, babe, you feeling okay? Because mind you, I'm pregnant. And I looked at him and I said, I have a question about that house. So, with that house, when you moved there, he told me. I said, you moved there, it's on so-and-so date. I said, and you and your ex-wife used to live there. Yeah, babe, that's where we lived. I said, okay. I said, so who is Ashley and Justin? He said, I don't know Ashley and Justin. I said, because Ashley and Justin been owning that house since 2011. He said, babe, where you get that from? I said, because this HCAD. And I turned the phone around. I said, because this is HCAD. You never owned that fucking house. So who is Ashley and Justin if they're the owners of the house? That man told me, babe, man, I don't even want to tell you this. I said, tell me what? All right, man. When me and my ex-wife split, Ashley and Justin let me crash in their garage. They got their garage set up like a man cave. And to be honest with you, babe, you saw the boxes in the garage when we passed through there. That's actually where I stored my shit at. I said, Jared, I don't even believe that you know Ashley and Justin. He said, babe, I used to work with Justin at Buffalo Wild. Again, it's another Buffalo Wild Wings. I said, Jared, yeah. I don't know how much more of this I could take, babe. I promise you. I promise you ain't lying. I said, okay, cool. He got so upset and so angry because I kept saying, all right, cool. All right, cool. Don't even worry about it. Okay, cool. He kept getting so angry that he ended up storming out of that house and he was gone for hours. I have no clue where he went. So now that we have talked about the supposed house that they lived in, let me get to the part about the ex-wife. So I asked him, I said, and you say that you got married when? He told me a date. Might have been 2015, 2016. I said, and you said her name was Pierce Wood. He told me her last name. We're going to say it's Pierce Williams. I said, why ain't no divorce decree for you and Pierce? He said, we got married in Louisiana. I said, oh, okay, y'all got married in Louisiana. I said, okay, I ain't checked Louisiana. He said, oh yeah, if you check the records, they there. I said, okay, bet, I'm gonna check them. I'm a damn sure check them. He said, why are you asking me all of these questions? I said, because you done lied about having a daughter. You done lied about the house. Now, if you do have an ex-wife, I really kind of want to know now what really happened with y'all, because ain't no way in the fuck you done shot somebody. Ain't no way you done shot nobody. So now let's move into the ex-wife story.